we're going to talk about one of the most important and key aspects of bowling, and it doesn't even really revolve around the game of bowling. It revolves around the fit and the importance of having minimal grip pressure in the bowling ball while you're bowling. What I like to say when we give lessons here is there's a good and bad of how our bodies relate to the game of bowling. The good is that all of our joints in our body can work independently of each other. Meaning if I keep my index finger here in the middle of my elbow, I can completely rotate my wrist all the way around without having my elbow change at all. That's a good part about how our bodies relate to bowling. But the bad part, and to get back into the fit aspect of it, the bad part of how our bodies relate to bowling is that all of our muscles are connected. So if I make a fist with my muscle, it doesn't just stop and get cut off right here at the wrist. It comes all the way up through my forearm, all the way up through my bicep, and eventually into my shoulder. So having minimal amounts of grip pressure is utmost to try and repeat shot after shot after shot, not only repeating shot after shot day after day after day. Now with that, it's hard. It's not easy to do. Our bodies aren't really used to having a 13, 14, 15, or even 16-pound object attached to our hands at the bottom of a swing. But yet you hear coaches all the time tell you, well, we want to stay as loose as we can. But it's just really not human nature to not want to squeeze that bowling ball. It's such a heavy object that we're attaching to the end of our hands, but it's of the utmost importance that we do just try and stay nice and relaxed with it. So what are some tips to really check your grip pressure? And the first thing I see all the time is that people like to use too big of holes, just in general. In particular, I guess you'd say the thumb hole. People are always afraid of hanging the ball and going out of the lane, and I completely understand that. We want to make sure that we take practice runs. So what I would suggest at home is to just try and take some bowler's tape, add a piece of tape or two into your thumb hole. Start with one piece of tape, and then get a partner and stand on the approach and just roll the ball back and forth with your partner so that you're testing whether or not you can come out of the thumb hole and you're not just trying at full speed on the lane and possibly injuring yourself. Then if that works with one piece of tape, try another piece of tape. Basically, we're just trying to make it to where you can keep your hand and your fit as tight as possible so that it allows you to get the feeling of not gripping and squeezing when you're releasing the bowling ball. It's one of the #1 things that we see here in the training center day after day, week after week when we give lessons. People have fits that are just either not quite right, or even if the fit is right, their thumb holes are just way too loose. And with that comes extra squeezing and lots of other physical game issues that start with that. So in the long run, this will help you better your game not only for the short term, but in the future as well. So make sure that your hand is relaxed as possible in the ball at all times. This will not only sort of keep the pressure off of your hand and stop that blistering and callousing that a lot of bowlers think are just normal, but also it'll help you repeat shots, shot after shot, day after day, and make you more overall versatile and better off as a player.